case asks a simple question. Can a judge impute, i.e. make up a child support number, if they don't believe you're making what you're claiming to make? Hello again, I hope you're all doing well. Today's case marks an arbitrary milestone for me because the vast majority of appellate decisions in Illinois fall under Rule 23. Rule 23s are appellate decisions that the court believes do not add anything new to our existing body of case law and make up a large majority of appellate decisions. Having your case picked up for publication is akin to, winning the lotto, because published opinions, they list your name. Rule 23s, nada. People who research us only see published opinions pop up when they plug in our name into the court search engine. Many lawyers have dozens of Rule 23 wins and not a single published case. It has nothing to do with their appellate skill. It's, a lot of ways, it's really luck of the draw. And like it or not, only published cases get your name out there. So when you get that third, I feel that's where you go from up and coming to established. So for me, it's kind of a big deal. I didn't go to an Ivy League school. To be fair, I was never really on a roll either. My folks weren't rich enough to hook me up with a job at some big law firm when I graduated. Heck, I spent weekends busting tables. All right, that's exaggerating just a bit. I was a server, however, at an Irish pub, but it barely put a dent in the tuition costs at my law school that nobody's ever heard of. I actually credit the pub more than my law school for that third win because I think there was something in the tap. Many of the people that I went to work with went on to do extraordinary things. Miss Wendy, the bartender, she was also a rugby hooligan. She's now a doctor. You got Miss Marcia. Here's her in a promo photo, owns her own cafe now. And, during the early days of the big Achoo, she was feeding people who were down on their luck. And the link to the news story is in the description. You have Allie over here. She went to my law school. I was actually finishing up my last semester when she started there. You got David. Actually, David never worked at the pub, but he never skipped leg day, and he's now the principal of French Run Elementary in Reynoldsburg. Glynis, she owns the Wicked Lobster. It's like this traveling cafe. You can check the website in the description below to see when it's coming near you. Now, I know this is all supposed to be about child support, but it's my video, damn it, so skip ahead if you want to for the holding, but I'm going to stay here for just a few more seconds, because we also have Miss Michelle. She catered the best house parties in all of Columbus. Yes, catered house parties. It was pretty cool. And she also invited us over to her costume party a few years ago. I dressed as the Brown Knight for Murder Party, but it turns out I was the only person on earth who had ever seen the movie. So I came there dressed like a homeless dude. But she's the mother of two. Her sister Jamie also works there. She married a guy named Josh. He laughs in DD 214, however. Then you have Nikki. Nikki was the manager, but she had this killer voice. She invited us out to her concerts throughout Columbus, and she had a monster cover to Four Non-Blondes, What's Going On. I wish I had video to share. It was just extraordinary. Anyways, my point is, glad I got number 3, but really it pales in comparison to what these extraordinary people have done. We didn't have much money, but we made it work, and maybe that's all it takes. All right, enough of all that. Let's get to what we all came here for, the basics of imputation. And for that, April is going to give us the 101 in less than 37 seconds.
Courts can impute income to a non-custodial parent if they find that the payer is voluntarily unemployed, is attempting to evade a support obligation, or has unreasonably failed to take advantage of an employment opportunity. If a party isn't making a good faith effort to earn sufficient income, the court may set support above the parent's actual income, so long as the award is based on the parent's skills and experience. In doing so, the court should examine the work and earnings history of the parent, their educational background, occupational qualifications, and job opportunities in the area.
The leading case on imputation is still Gosney and its 3, infamous factors. Nearly all imputations fall under factor 1 or 3. Factor number 2, evading a support obligation, it's rarely discussed. So what does it mean to evade a support obligation? We only have 2 opinions, really. We got Bloom, where a farmer stopped farming during his divorce so he could rig his support payments down. And then we have Litch. Oh, man, it's this case. It's where the ex put a straw man as boss of his company to make it appear he wasn't making any money. So turning to my case, quick editor's note, I can't talk about the case because, litigation is still ongoing. As in most of my videos, I use ridiculously exaggerated visuals to help explain legal concepts, but they have nothing to do with the actual parties that are involved with these real-life disputes. And for those wondering, we did actually get the child support reversed, but it was going to be for different grounds, and I may explain that in another video sometime later on down the line. If a judge doesn't believe a parent makes what they claim to make, can they find that is tantamount to evading a support obligation? And the answer is yes, and that is a significant expansion to this imputation rule. Prior to that, if a party's income was uncertain, the judge could set a reasonable support amount under Section 505A5. That kind of created a host of different problems. Imputation is a lot easier, far more difficult to appeal. Now, to calm some fears, I don't see this method of imputation being applied to W-2 cases, but self-employed or small business owners, if there's allegations of, I don't know, like keeping 2 sets of books or whatever, this case and another one, Dodd, it's a Rule 23, but also deals with imputing because the judge didn't believe the testimony they heard. I feel they are must-reads. Oh, and before I go, I gotta do my usual pandering. YouTube doesn't pay me, but the likes, comments, and most importantly, subscribes help me figure out what topics you want to see more of in the future. Anyways, that's all I have. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.